This here question is from a C1 paper, May 2011. You have to find the equation of the normal to the curve y equals 4x squared minus 2x cubed minus 1 at x equals 2. This here is a positive quadratic graph, so you would expect it to be U-shaped. Just gives us an idea of the shape of the curve. Now, say x was 2 here, x equals 2. Then your tangent to the curve would be here, and the normal to that tangent is here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the tangent gradient first. Now the tangent gradient is dy by dx. dy by dx is going to be d2 dx of the 4x squared minus 2x cubed minus 1, which is, bring the 2 to the 4, which makes it 8x minus, bring the 3 down, multiply it by the 2 and change the power to a 2, and then d to dx of minus 1 is 0. So dy by dx is equal to 8x minus 6x squared. At x equals 2, the gradient of the tangent is equal to 8x minus 6x squared. If I put in 2, then I can find the value of the gradient of the tangent, and I get it to be minus 8. You need to remember that the gradient of the normal times the gradient of a tangent is equal to minus 1. So if minus 8 times the gradient of the normal is minus 1, well then the gradient of the normal at the point where x equals 2 is going to be minus 1 over minus 8, which is 1/8. We are asked for the equation of the normal to the curve at the point x being 2. Our normal has got a straight line equation, and I can now write 1/8 in for the gradient. The normal crosses the curve. So if the curve is 4x squared minus 2x cubed minus 1, when x is 2, I put in 2 here, and I will find the y coordinate where x is 2, and that will also be a point on the normal. 4 times 4 is 16. 2 times 8 is 16. So y is actually minus 1 when x is 2. That point also exists on the equation of the normal. So y is equal to 1 over 8x plus c, minus 1 is equal to 1 over 8 times 2 plus c. So minus 1 equals 1/4 plus c. Therefore, if you get your minus 1 and you take away the quarter, you'll get the value for c. So c works out to be minus 5/4. Putting the value for c into the equation for the normal, you get that y is equal to 1 over 8x minus 5/4. So y is equal to 1 over 8x minus 10 over 8. So 8y will equal x minus 10, or 8y minus x equals minus 10. And that's the equation of the normal to the curve at the point where x equals 2. The next part of this question says, if y equals 8 times root x, show that dy by dx all squared plus y times d2y by dx squared is equal to 0. If y equals 8 times root x, show that dy by dx all squared plus y times d2y by dx squared is equal to 0. So y is actually equal to 8 times x to the power of half. That is a much nicer format to write in order to find dy by dx. To find dy by dx, you take the power on the x, you pull it down, and you remove 1 from the power that was on the x in the first place. So a half minus 1 is minus 1 over 2. 8 times a half is 4, and x to the power of minus 1 over 2 is the multiplied. Now, that's all fine and good, so I would rather write dy by dx to equal 4 over root x. And if I get dy by dx and I square it for the first part of the question, then I will get 4 squared over root x, which is 16 over x. For the second part of the question, I need d2y by dx squared, which is really d to dx on dy by dx, which means I'm finding d to dx of 4 over root x. And that there can be written as 4x to the minus a half. Same thing happens. The minus a half will come down beside the 4. And then we'll remove 1 from the minus a half here to get minus 3 over 2. Be careful there you don't accidentally write 4. So 4 times minus a half is going to be minus 2. And so the differential of 4x to the minus a half is negative 2x to the minus 3 over 2, which can be written as negative 2 over x to the power of 3 over 2. We have to show this here expression here. So let's insert what we have found out. We know that d2y by dx squared has worked out to be 16 over x. Y is 8 root x, and d2y by dx squared we have just worked out to be negative 2 over x to the 3 over 2. It can be quite tricky to try and gather this together. So I'll have 16 over x, add on 8 x to the power of a half times minus 2 x times x to the minus a half. So this here is x to the minus 3 over 2, and that there is x to the 1 times x to the half, basically. So there's the 1 and there's the half, and there's the 2 minuses to keep it negative. So I've got 16 over x, add on minus 16 x to the minus 1, and if this is timed by that, you'll just get x to the 0, which is 1. So 16 over x, take away 16 times x to the minus 1, which is 16 over x, which gives you 0.